Hello, everyone, and welcome to day 11 of this 30-day Living an Authentic Life Challenge. Today, we're going to have a conversation about legacy. I don't know if you've ever heard the phrase, train up a child in the way they should go. Because if you heard that statement is a foundation that you build to support your children so that when life happens to them, they'll be able to sustain it and you can have legacies that have an impact for generations to come. Because when life is good, we don't think about the foundation. We don't consider what goes wrong until something goes wrong. So if you have built a life where your children can withstand the storms that will come, that is good. But if you have not prepared the foundation, then what happens with the future? Because as generations are being born out of your loins, what will they have? What are you giving? What have you shared? I'm reminded of a story of two men. One was the life of the party. He was like the social butterfly. He was at all the best parties, surrounded by the glitz and glam. He was with those individuals that, had their life that was just all in social media. And then there was this other man. He was a little more reserved, a little more practical. He didn't hang out with a lot of people, and he planned a lot of his life. When you see those two elements, they seem like they're really different, but they had similar goals. Both of them wanted a home that would give them protective nature. One was protecting his reputation. The other was protecting his life, his legacy, and what he perceived would be something that he would be able to share in the future. Because when you're building things, everything that you do today is an impact on what happens in the future. For some, we're just living the life of the first man, deciding that he was going to build his house on the beach. Yeah, he wanted a beachfront home because it gave him a certain level of prestige. The people that he was hanging around with in their social circle, they all had summer homes on the beach. And he wanted to be able to walk out on the veranda of his home and step into the beach as well. And when he had parties, he wanted to have the parties on the beach so that he can say, yeah, this is where I live. This is how my life is going. And there is nothing wrong with having a life like that. But the thing that I want you to really think about, if the crowd that you're following is on shallow ground, do you really want to join them? Because pretty and social do not always give stability that is needed. Because what life often does for us, life will come to see, have you truly built something that will last? Because the other man, he wanted to have the prestige as well, prestige of the legacy that was coming behind him so that his family would have something solid. And it takes time to build something solid. It's not pretty. It's not fun. It's just the day-to-day grinding out to make certain that what you are building will last. For a lot of us, that lasting element may not be a physical home that is being built on a solid foundation or on a beachfront element. But what we are building every single day with your words, with your deeds, with how you had your home form, the way that you were shaping your children. Because now that my children are older, I'm looking at these young adults and I'm trying to see, did I really give you a firm enough foundation? Because my desire was to give you a legacy that would surpass the test of time so that when life came to throw rocks at them, they were prepared for the rocks that were thrown. What I gave my children was a basic belief that I sit under. The foundation that I am grounded in has been tested. It's been tested with pain. It's been tested with shame. It's been tested financially. It's been tested emotionally. And as I was walking through those storms, my babies were in tow. So they got a lot of the life lessons while I was building the boat to row. And now that I look at them, my oldest son, I see he had a little more time in some of those lessons. So he has a different perspective about how life looks. My youngest one had a whole separate dynamic in the environment that was built as his foundation. So he got a little more stability because he was on a more sturdier ground because I was a little more stable in my thinking with my emotions and how I functioned spiritually. because it wasn't until the aftermath of my divorce that I decided to check. Because when the storms of life came, my foundation that I was given had holes in it, and I stepped in the middle of it. My foundation that I was given was built on partial solid rock and partial sinking sand, and my children got tumbled through the process. So your legacy, if you found that you did not lay as best a foundation as possible for your children so that you can train them up in the way that they should go, as long as you are their parent, their mama or their papa, you have the authority to go back and relay some of the places that were sinking, because now that they are older, you get the chance to see what parts did I miss in giving you? What parts were you walking through while I was building the boat so we can row it together, so some of the pieces that you got wasn't quite so solid? And if you are a person that is sitting in a foundation that did not give you the opportunity to really have the training that you thought you needed, I want you to know that it's okay. You are aware of some of the broken pieces that exist in your being now. So I want to encourage you in this day, at this time, in this moment, start shoring it up. You can find individuals that have the skill set that you need, the insight that you're looking for, the wisdom to give you the guidance to help you on the journey. Look for that. And I'm hoping that this 30-day Living an Authentic Life Challenge has given you some touch points that you can think through to help you start building a firm foundation so that the legacy that you leave will be one that sustains the test of time. So, day 11, life will have storms. Are you prepared? If you want to talk a little bit more about this, join me right here, live on Zoom. The challenge is taking place in here. Go to my website, tanyaehood.com. There you can click on the tab and join quick, because these are quick subsets. We are not taking very long. So you have about 15 minutes to get in so we can get out. I'll talk to you soon. In the meantime, this is Tanya E. Hood, walking in my purpose, and I want you to do the same.